Thank God it's midweek.
Thank God. Hi, Jemima. How are you?
I'm sure Jemima, thanks for joining. Good to see you. How has been the day or the week, will you say? Well, thanks for the other session. So the session you had with us on Friday.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, I've actually been struggling to download it. I think that's why I'm using a different device today. Hopefully, we'll be able to download this. It's
Okay.
been a challenge to. Oh, we are fine. The mama is saying, "How are you? You're welcome." Well, we're good.
I'm fine, thanks, darling.
So. 2022 is knocking, and Christmas. Have you started your Christmas shopping?
I haven't, but I think I'm going to do it in the next week. Yeah.
I actually think this is the best time to do it. I think this is the best time for anyone to do the Christmas shopping. I hate the madness that goes on every December. I can't deal with that madness. I would rather go out just to do sightseeing, to see all the lights, the beautiful ambience of the restaurant, but to go to shop. And I guess I think that's one of the conversations we need to have this evening, because we are talking about finances.
Yeah.
A lot of people rack up debts in December.
That's true.
There are lots of people rack up. That's why January is the longest month, and it's not meant to be. So we need to let people know they don't need to make January 2022 does not have to be the longest month in that next year. We can actually do better with our finances. So that's why I'm so excited and I'm happy for this session, because I know that we are going to get some nuggets and tips on how we can do better, because we know if we know better, we will do better. So we want to know more and know better. So in the next 1 or 2 minutes, I think I'm going to ask us to just, who is it? Inyeoluwa Emmanuel, welcome. I can see you. Thanks for joining us. And in fact, I want you to stay around till the end of this, because I think it's more of you people that actually need this talk. All of us do it, but I know that generation that really need it, that they just don't care. They spend money as it counts. So let me allow you to at least to kick off from here, just to introduce yourself, because tonight is one of those series that we are hosting on this channel, preparing people for 2022, and tonight is specifically talking about finances, our finances, how we can prepare and position ourselves very well to achieve a different and a better result in 2022. Because of course, I know we all make plans, we all set goals. Whether we are setting it right or not right, that's another thing. But I believe we all want to do better, and it will to be great if we can help us. Maybe share a full status, because we know one session, even 10 sessions is not enough when we are talking about money. Not enough, but things are very important that we need to pay attention to, so that at least we can kick off 2022 better. But before we go into that, could you please let us know who you are?
Okay, thank you very much for having me on once again. So my name is TOLA Ayeni. I'm a chartered accountant, a financial advisor, and a coach. My emphasis is on what I call financial coaching, because of course it draws from my experience. I've spent over 30 years in financial services. So it draws on my experience, and also I'm able to combine that with my coaching skills to be able to help my clients in an area where people tend to find a bit difficult in understanding it. So in terms of introduction, that's who I am. That's what I do. I've always been someone within financial services. I've always loved numbers. But I have to say that even though I'm a chartered accountant and financial advisor, I get caught out as well with some of the way financial products are structured. And that's why I do have a passion to break things down. Most providers will not tell you some of the things that, I will do, because obviously if they're making money out of people's ignorance, why should they be the ones to actually educate us? So yeah, I look forward to sharing some hints and tips with everyone tonight.
Okay, can I quickly before you start, because I want to make something clear, and I know it's something that a lot of people might not know. The fact that one is a chartered accountant, does that make that person financially intelligent, smart, or aware?
Okay, I have to say there's a difference.
I'm not talking about, because that means every chartered accountant should be financially aware, should be smart, should be intelligent. Yeah.
There's a difference between the academic knowledge and also the practical knowledge. So somebody who is a chartered accountant or a financial advisor has a bit of a head start, is what I would say, because they understand the lingo, they understand the numbers, but that doesn't mean that they understand all the tips and tricks that are being used in practice. So, it's one thing to have the theoretical knowledge, but it's another thing to actually practice it. And that's why I say that, I have gotten caught out. Let me give a good example. In the days of payment protection insurance, I could almost vouch that I had no payment protection insurance until one day we were moving house and I was, sorting out the papers, and I saw this particular document that said that a loan that I had taken maybe about 10 years prior had payment protection insurance. I was shocked. My mouth was wide open and I was like, what? There is no way I would have signed up to that, knowing what I know. But there it was in black and white. And obviously, somehow, somebody had convinced me and I had signed that document, which I shouldn't have. So there you go.
And that's a chartered accountant that has done that.
Yep.
So with a firm, what I'm trying to say, personal finance is completely different from accounting as a profession. That is what I'm trying to bring out. It's complete personal finance. You can because personal finance basically is 80% habit and knowledge, 20% of knowledge. The 80%, everybody, whether you're an accountant or not, you've got something. So, and your training as an accountant does not equip you to have the 80%.
That's why I said all it gives you is a head start. You have to be curious enough to find out more. You have to be able to ask questions. You have to be able to be concerned enough about your own finances to dig deeper and understand. And the thing is, every one of us, no matter what your profession is, you actually have the ability to understand these things. But the way it's presented, and people just say, oh no, I just leave that for the bank to sort out. Oh no, I just leave that for my accountant to sort out. Oh no, I don't. You can understand it. It's not that difficult. Even people that don't have any qualification, they can understand this thing. So yeah, in a sense, you're right.
Thank you very much. So yeah, 2022 is around the corner, and we want to be ready. So we have you to help us share those thoughts and nuggets that you think can equip us to get a better result in 2022 in terms of our financial life. So the floor is yours, TOLA.
Thank you very much, Tinu. So what I would like to say is that I want to talk about the 3 M's. So making money, managing money, and multiplying money. Yeah. Making, managing, and multiplying. We might think we know what it means to make money. So you have a job, you earn a salary, you run a business, you make profits. The thing is, do we have the ability to make more? Now, I like to refer back to this pandemic because it has actually taught us to look at things differently from the way we used to look at things before. What skills do you have that you can monetize? What can you do? Online training, online teaching, blogging, freelancing, all sorts of things are available to us now. That before now, if somebody had suggested it, you may think, that's a bit far-fetched. But now we're looking at different opportunities. We don't need to restrict ourselves to a traditional 9-to-5 job. We need to think outside the box. So that's about making money. What do you have that you can use? What do you have that you can monetize? What do you have that can create another steady stream of income? It doesn't have to be, a lot. An extra £50 a month, an extra £100 a month, that could take care of some bills. That could make a difference in some of the other things that you are doing. So making money, you've heard about the Avon lady. You can distribute a few catalogs around, get orders, and you make some commission. There's so many businesses out there that people get into that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get into them. So that's about making money. Let's put that aside a second. Then talking about managing money, there are different facets to managing your money. So how do I spend my money? A lot of us do not like to hear the B word, budget. But let's talk about it more in terms of a spending plan. I must be responsible enough about how I spend my money. I'm a good steward. I've been given this money to use for my own benefit and for every other thing that I want to achieve. And remember that your working life is probably from age 16 to age 65. For those of us that went to higher institution, it's probably from like age 20 something to like age 65. It's a finite number of years. But guess what? Because of medical sciences, we tend to live a lot longer. People are living up to their 90s, even hundreds. So whatever you're earning between that your working life has got to last you till it's time to go, wherever we're going to go. So we need to be able to manage our resources. If we're spending every single thing that we earn, then what's going to happen in retirement? Are we able to live on state pension or even the lack of it? We need to think about that. In our community, a lot of people, their pension plan is, I have children, they will look after me. But, this generation, they didn't get that memo of look after your parents in old age type of thing. So we must be strategic and we must plan. So when we say a spending plan, how am I spending my money? Okay, there are some fixed expenses that there's nothing I can do about it. Rent or mortgage will take maybe about 2/3 of the income anyway. Then we talk about utilities and stuff like that, and then food and everything. But there are some spending that creeps in. They are kind of luxurious spending. Some people say, oh, I like Costa Coffee. And you go to Costa Coffee every day and you spend £2.40 every single weekday. Multiply that by 5, and then you know how much you're spending. And multiply that by 52 weeks. Wow, did you know that was how much you were spending on Costa Coffee? Seriously, you're helping somebody else's business to make profit and you're depleting your own resources. It's as simple as that. So those luxurious things that we spend money on, how many jewelry can you possibly wear? Does it have to be gold? And I'm not saying don't look good. Please don't get me wrong. It's good to look good, but think about the big picture. What am I going to do from age 65? What am I going to do in case, in my old age, I have one of the dreaded diseases and I am unable to work? I mean, it sounds morbid. It sounds, not the kind of conversation that we want to have, but that's the reality. 1 in 4 people will suffer from some kind of physical illness at some point in their life. It's facts. So those are the things that we need to think about when we're thinking about managing our money. Can you cut your costs? Can you go to a better provider? Why are you paying 70-something pounds on Sky TV? How much TV can one person watch? All of those channels. Some of them you've never ever looked at them. So think about the reasonableness. Go through your statements and just say to yourself, what am I spending this money on? And think about the reasonableness of it and see where you can make some deductions. Change providers if you need to. It's all about competition. you can get a lower provider, why not? Why must you stick with the big four when you can get a cheaper provider? Why are you enriching, all these other companies? It's just, questions I'm throwing out there. So that's about managing your money, managing, protecting. Insurance. We don't like to talk about insurance because we say,
nobody likes to hear that word insurance. Nobody likes to hear that.
True. But we buy insurance for our car. We recognize our car as an asset and we buy insurance for our car. But we are our own biggest asset. Guess what? If you're unable to work, what's going to happen to you, to the car, to the house? What's going to happen? Especially if you have a mortgage on the car, or you have finance on the car. If you're unable to work and keep up the payment, guess what? The two owners will come and repossess it. That's the fact. So when you insure those things, when you insure yourself, you're insuring them so that you can continue to live the kind of lifestyle that you have been used to. So that's managing our money, our finances. And then the last M is multiply. So manage, multiply. How do we multiply our income? Investments. There are all kinds of investments. And yes, investments are risky. But doing nothing is equally risky. Because if you put your money under your pillow, guess what? Inflation reduces the true value of that money. So time value of money. So doing nothing, you can't even stand still. That's the reality. If you put it under your pillow, by the time you bring it out, you cannot buy what it would have bought like 10 years ago. And if you put it in your savings account, if the rate of inflation is more than the rate of return that they're offering you on your savings account, then you just lost money. So people are scared that if I invest, I will lose money. You're losing money in your savings account, you're losing money under your pillow. So, hey, there's nothing like standing still. Now, there are different of investments. There are high-risk investments. The reward is directly proportional to the risk. So if the risk is high, the return too will be high. But you might lose all this money. So let's understand what our own risk appetite is. Some people are adventurous. Some people want to buy investments in emerging markets. But some other person is like, no, that's too risky. Go for, there are mutual funds, there are what they call, what do they call it? These are the FTSE 100. The FTSE 100 top companies in the UK, the chances that all of them are going to crash is slim. And because it is it's all of the funds put together, you ensure that they will balance out each other. Again, you can diversify your portfolio in the sense that say you're buying from oil and gas, and you're buying from banking, and you're buying from food manufacturing or something. So, for instance, during the pandemic, all the two companies were doing well because we were still eating. We were all at home, and all we were doing was eating as we couldn't travel, so all the airlines and all the transportation and all the tourist companies were not doing okay. But all the food companies were doing great. So within your portfolio, you had food companies and you had all the other ones. So something be going down while food is going up. That's the your portfolio. But the point that I would like to stress on is multiply what you have. Think about a farmer. If a farmer takes and eats it, all of their harvest in 1 year, they eat everything. What seed would they have planned for the next harvest? Some of that seed, some of each one, but he's going to also plant more. Yeah, and that's how we do it. No matter how much you're earning, you must eat some and you must plant some. And that's important. So, it's really make money, make more money. Manage your money, reduce your expenses and all of that, protect your money, and then multiply your money. Investment, different forms of investment, stock, property, there are different forms of investment based on each person's appetite for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the 3 M's that you have shared with us. Now, I want us to now specifically look at we are preparing for 2022. In terms of making money, which should be top priority out of these 3 M's for me, for instance, in preparing for 2022, which one should be top priority? Or do they all carry the same weight?
Well, I would say make money. And the reason why I say so, you have to make the money first before you can manage it or before you can multiply it. So if you are at zero level, or say for instance you are in debt, you need to come out of, the debt. You are like in a deep, you need to come out of the pit first of all before we can start talking about managing or multiplying. Or you are unemployed and you have no means of income at all. We need to talk about how can you become employed before we can then talk about managing and multiplying. So I would say for that reason and that reason alone, making money is important. Not because we're concerned about money for the sake of money. We're concerned about money because it gives us the seed to manage and it gives us the seed to multiply. So if you are in a situation where you are in debt, don't start thinking about investment just yet. Think about how can I get out of debt? Because interest rate is hard on all of those debts. So if you're investing £10 and you're paying hundreds of pounds in interest, it's kind of negating each other. You need to get out of debt as quick as possible before you can then start managing and multiplying the money.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Making money is very important. Assuming someone does not even have any source of income, the first priority of that person for 2022 should be on how he or she will be gainfully employed, start a business, or turn your hobby, your passion to business or profits. That is what it is, right? And even if we are currently earning some form of income, what do you think, still in that space of making money, what do you think, how do I prepare myself still in making money for 2022? What are the thoughts that I should be processing now to have a better year in 2022, rather?
Okay, so I will go back to what they call the personal development, what they call work analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities available to you? Let's break it down to lay out something. What can you do? So if you have a job, you might say, okay, I'm working X number of hours. What else can you do? What skills? What can you do? Some people know how to braid hair. Maybe just one outside of your regular job and charge whatever the going rate or maybe a little less than the going rate to attract someone. Some people know how to do handmade jewelry. You can do handmade jewelry and sell the friends and family. You can sell on Facebook. You can buy, some people buy from China and sell locally. There are so many things that one can do. You can write a blog, you can monetize your YouTube, you can write a book. Anybody can write a book and publish it. And you become an author and you start selling a book on Amazon. There are just so many things that we can do. And it's all about having the right mindset and being able to think outside of the box. Don't limit ourselves to let's imagine for a second people that we work for, the organizations that we work for, the multi-millionaires, most of them started as family businesses. And if they didn't take the risk to start that business, then we will not be able to work with them. When you're working for somebody, you are actually helping them to fulfill their own business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As that they sound, you're helping them to fulfill their own business. You must have the dream. What's your dream? What do you want to achieve? And how can you achieve it? Nobody is saying this is your word and then you can start with a side gig, a freelance thing. You can write, you can do social media management, content. There are so that you can do cleaning on your weekends. Some people do like night sleep in warehouse, the weekend, and they do their time to come back and extra 100, 200 pounds, whatever your currency is, and it's coming into you. And everything in labor, it doesn't matter where the money is in labor, you are making money. So that's one part.
Thank you very much. So basically what you're saying is that regardless of the level of income that we have, what we are advocating here is multiple streams of income, because that's when you can get to the place of I manage my money, I multiply my money, because you've told them about those 3 M's. So multiple stream of income. If you have not, maybe that's a good place to start in setting your realistic goals for 2022. What extra income can I make? Yes, you might say, oh, what I have is enough, but it's never too much, because there's so much you can do with money. It's so much. She's mentioned something about investment, even if it is for the purpose of investment alone. For the purpose, even if, and there's some of us, even though we think whatever it is we are earning from our regular employment or work, or from our workplaces, it's okay for us. How about having your emergency fund stretched? Maybe you currently have 3 months of emergency fund. Maybe you want to stretch it to 6 months. And maybe having another form of income would actually help. You mentioned something about when the pandemic hit. It affected a lot of people negatively. And we don't know, for every year, there are opportunities, there are threats. Even for the pandemic, as it appeared to many people as if it's a threat, there's some people, they really cashed in on that pandemic. Because they were opening their eyes to see the problems that were at hand, and they were solving those problems. So maybe for 2022, what we are saying here is that look for those things that you can do and you can monetize. That is in making money.
Yeah. So every problem.
Absolutely.
Nigeria, fashion design. When the pandemic hit, they were not able to go. What she decided, they already have this machine, they already have this thing. People invested in a car, staying on site, because there was a lockdown and everything like that. They had to improve the staff and everything. And they started doing fast.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's good.
So quickly, people say, oh, they are just makers, they are fashion designers, they can go to fashion. They started selling out fast, and they started selling it extra. So that threat created opportunities for some people. A lot of people started taking marketing, started making, started selling out sanitizers and things that were in demand, and food. Came like hot seller. People like Amazon, they did so well on that because they were stuck at home. People were ordering all kinds of things and everything like that. So we needed more and more drivers to deliver stuff. So people don't into that. So when there is a threat, there is always an opportunity as well. And like myself, it's about having multiple people. Most people that work in the private industry, there was no business, there was no something taking place. They had to repurpose their skills into other areas. They had to go and work the likes of people. They had to go and start doing something. It's about knowing that I can put my skills to work somewhere else. And it's about having different multiple streams of income. I was privileged to work in a government agency with people that lost their jobs, and a lot of people were getting benefits at that particular time. And it was not a terrible situation. People who had been working for years and had never been unemployed, all of a sudden found themselves unemployed, and they did not know where the next paycheck was going to come from. And it was a bad chapter. This is why having multiple streams of income is not just a good idea, it is a necessity, because we never know what is going to happen. And even if we have emergency funds that can last us 3 to 6 months, how long has the pandemic been lasting? We need to have multiple streams of
income. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. And flexibility of mindset is extremely important, especially now. more than ever, because pandemic opened us up to so many opportunities. Technology has disrupted the business world. Business is never going to ever be the same. You can now operate locally, meanwhile you can be earning globally now. So, but that is if you see the world as a stage that you can play in. But we need to actually upskill ourselves to be able to take such advantage. So, if we now quickly move to managing, still talking about the 3 M's that you have shared with us earlier on. For those that are joining us, shared with us the 3 M's, and we're using those 3 M's as a yardstick to position ourselves or to prepare for 2022. We've covered making money. We're not going to managing money. Which area do you think we need to pay more attention to as we go into 2022 in managing our finances better, so that we can have a better results next year?
I think the basic area of managing money is to have a spending plan.
Spending plan.
Because without having a plan, we just don't know how long it is. If I ask people, if I say I do a job where I do income and expenditure, you have to, especially salary earners, how much do you earn? They will give you an exact, they know exactly how much they earn. If you say how much are you expecting for the month, that's where they don't know. They don't know how their money goes out. And let's ourselves. The rent mortgage, they probably know that they say utilities, yeah, they have an idea. Okay, phone, they have an idea. Well, tell them to tell you, my income is £1,000 per house, £1,000, £2,000. How much of that do you spend in monthly basis? 9 out of 10 people are really and therein lies the problem of managing our income, managing our money. If you don't know how your money is going, let's be honest with ourselves. If you have a child and you give that child some pocket money and they go and spend, and you say, how much did you spend and how much you spend? And they go, I don't know. Are you going to be happy to give them money again? Or they say, oh, I spent this all. Are you going to be really happy with that? I told you, take some of your pocket money, don't spend it, this, that, and the other. And that's what we call happy. So we as adults, we're doing exactly the same thing. God has given us this resources. Whoever, your boss, has paid you this money. And we don't spend it anyhow. And we don't even know where it goes. It's like, in and out, and we don't know. So we need to have a plan. We need to be intentional about how we actually spend that money. We need to be good stewards of what has been given to us. We need to be able to say, this amount is going to us rent, this amount is going to us groceries, this amount is going to us all the other things. This amount is going towards my savings, and this amount is going towards my investment. Because I am
really important. Having a spending plan is very, very important. And basically, that is theoretically, in a way, just saying that you are having control over your money, not the other way around. But when you don't have that plan, the money is the one actually controlling you.
If you don't control over your money will control you.
Control you, yes. And so that's a very good place to start with management and money. We need to do better next year. We need to be able to tell ourselves, okay, I've earned XYZ amount of this pounds, and this is how whatever it is that expenses, this is how much that will go. Nothing more than it is in doing that the next one that which we're going to talk about later, we can say we make room for multiplying our money. Yes. So spending plan, I hope we're all getting it. It's very important. Still on that spending plan. Because it appears like, okay, here's the plan. So what I will do, I know I'll pay this, I know I'll do this. What are the things that you think most of us, we kind of have, So we miss out when we're making plans on a weekly, monthly basis, which we ought to also pay attention to.
So, so giving to charity, whether it's faith or just ordinary charity, Christmas is coming now, we're going to bed, we don't include that in our spending plan. A lot of people just maybe put that on credit card or whatever, or take a small loan, or robbing card to pay for.
Maybe the money they should have used the charity, they will not use it for the Christmas gifts because they have not planned for the Christmas gifts.
Exactly. We can plan for that. We can say, okay, out of my income, this is how much I'm going to use for this. Whether it's Christmas, birthday, there was something I posted out on social media recently. Christmas, December again. We know that part. It's not going to say we could have planned from the beginning of the year. And then all of a sudden, it's November, we're planning, and then we put it on credit card. And by the time it's January, people will start having long faces. Christmas is December again. We don't do that. But you can say, you need what's going to come around. Some people like me, very, very lucky to have my birthday very, very close to Christmas. So it's not something every year. My birthday is not going to change. Most commitments that you have, they're not going to change. Just one for it and tell yourself, this is how much I can afford to spend. I really want. I had a client, a young lady in her late 20s, with very little kids. And she tells me, when I asked her how much she usually spend on food for Christmas, and she was telling me £100 for each child. She had 2 kids, £100 for each child. This was a lady that wasn't working, she was a benefit, and she was spending £100 for each child. My eyes almost popped out of the socket. And I remember, nobody in this environment, I'm pretty upfront with people. I was upfront with her. And I said to her, you can't afford to spend when you're 20. And she said, oh no, that's why I come to you. And I said, I'm not a magician. You don't have this money. What do you want me to do? You're spending £400 when you are on benefit. How can you justify that? And I said to her, this child is going to be more interested in the rapid inflation. In another year, she's going to forget that you don't have expensive things. I remember when my daughter was working about 4 or 5, we went to in France. And, a few years down the line, when you say, oh, we took you to this national, I can't remember. I'm like, money I cannot remember. Sometimes we have some pictures that so that we have this about people say. The poor kids cannot remember. We did it for ourselves. One of the things that we say we're doing for our children,
we are going to come back here to talk about female folks in particular. There are so many things we use emotions to do. We need to address. We need to bring those things out so that I really don't know. That lady that you spoke about, for instance, might be feeling that's the way she can compensate, and that's not necessarily so. And a lot of people, especially women, can find themselves, can relate even in that space. And like you said, Christmas is not, it's like a woman that gets pregnant, it takes 9 months to birth, right? You can prepare within that 9 months. Christmas every year comes, we all know the 12th month of every year. So if you have a budget that I'm not going to spend more than, let's say, £200 on whatever it is that you do extra in December, you can actually, in preparing for 2022, start preparing for 2022 Christmas now. So from January, maybe you're going to be putting away £20 towards your Christmas. So it's no surprise, so no pressure. You don't have to now start spending your using your credit card. And that's why, like you said, January, the longest month. We are going to, in fact, I'm coming back in December to talk about January, the longest month. Why is this such a long month? It's true. we can do better so that January 2022, we don't have to go through the same cycle. We can break it in 2022, So, so talking about, you talked about spending plan, other things. What are one or two things do you think we can cover in managing our money that we can do better for next year in helping all of us to get better in our finances? So I think the device on there. Do you have another device on? Because I can't hear you.
No, I don't have it. So no matter how much you're earning, you learn what we call pay yourself first. And what that means is that preach it. What that means is that you put aside your savings money and you put aside your investment money before you start paying bills. Because if you don't do that, everything is going to be demanding your attention. You're going to pay rent, mortgage, bills, food, phone, telephone, mobile, TV, Netflix, this, that, and you leave the money to just be going, especially in, those of us in the diaspora, direct debit, before you can say that,
are you subscribed on my channel? Are you a subscriber on my channel?
Yes, I am.
Because the last video that I think it was on Tuesday or something, you saw what I don't know whether you've seen it. This is exactly are you paying yourself first or you're paying others? I'm so happy that you are bringing on that.
It is the principle in financial planning. When we talk about know how money works and let the money work for you. So you shouldn't just be working for money. If you're working for money, then you say, oh, I earn money, I can buy lectures, I can do whatever I want. The truth is that you are enriching the people that have provided you. You think that you are giving yourself an equal boost. My car better pass your own. That type of thing. I'm living in this gigantic house. I'm making a statement. So I am enriching the people that are paying their money to. Therefore, pay yourself first. What you invest, that's for you. What you save, that's for you. Every other thing that you pay to phone company, landlord, water bill, phone, that, upkeep of, family, you are paying other people. And a lot of us, we're not good at that. I tell you, my daughter, about 2 years ago, she was trying to spend money on yourself, because I was put out to the point that, I'm the one working, I'm the one doing it, and I'm like, oh, I'm saving food. I'm trying to do something for yourself. A lot of us are not trying to do it. Think yourself, if you cannot remember anything about the day, set aside your savings, set aside your investment before everything starts coming your way. Before you start paying all of those bills. Because whether you like it or not, there are always bills that are ready to eat up all your income. Don't worry. Even if you get a promotion and they double your salary to get to pay, you will find enough expenses to keep up all of that money. And there will be needs. People will come to you, they will have needs. And then you will emotionally react to those needs. And you want to give and all of those things. Pay yourself first. Your savings and your investment. Because by the power of compound interest, that is how you are going to multiply your income. That is how you are going to build wealth, not just for yourself, but for your children as well. So you need to get into that habit of paying yourself. If you get it up at direct debit. My little girl, well, not so little now, she's got some investment. And, I encourage her, set it up at direct debit. So before she sees her money, the money has already gone into her investment. The remaining, you don't see any how she likes. You don't see any how she likes. You say, oh, I'm going to my money. Say your direct debit shy is okay, time will tell what that investment will do for her. Because if that money was in her account, guess what? She will blow that one as well.
Oh, sure. That's human. It's not everybody that's got that discipline that you can have money in your account and be looking at it and not do anything. There are some people, they are like that, but not everybody is like that, and it's extremely important. If you know your strength and you know your strength does not lie in that, help yourself by automate everything you want to plan for. There might be some people that are watching us or listening to this, and they're saying to themselves, we are in the UK where you pay mortgage rent on a monthly basis. There are some people it's on an annual basis. Maybe one of the things that they could consider for 2022, so that you don't put yourself under unnecessary stress or pressure, financial pressure. If you cannot plan to have maybe a side hustle that will take care of that particular chunk thing, which you know that any money you're making is going straight for that. Create a separate account, and whatever your rent is annually. Is it 1 million? Is it 500,000? Is it 200,000? Especially for people that might be logging in from Africa. Divide it by 12. Just putting it away so that you're not on. But if you, like you said, if you have that plan and you will know the money that is available for all those extravagant or all those miscellaneous. So any money you'll be able to have full control over your money. So 2022, we should all do better. We can all do better, and that is what this is all about. So one more thing on managing money that you want to share, one tip that you want to share with us before we go to multiplying.
The other thing about managing money is protection.
Sorry?
In other words, protection.
Oh, that is extremely important. Please, I want you to write on that and expatiate why it is important and what financial protection is.
Yeah. In other words, insurance. So, like I said earlier on, we want a car, we insure it. We have assets, gold, and things like that. We insure it. Now, we are human beings. We are the golden goose that lays the egg. If you have a golden goose that lays the egg, would you insure the egg, or would you insure the golden goose that lays the egg? Knowing that if anything happens to the goose, there will be no more eggs to lay. So insuring ourselves is a form of protection. And I know in our own life, there is a chance of saying, oh, God is my protection. But yes, God is our protection, but God is not against us protecting ourselves and having an insurance policy that can help us to continue to maintain our lifestyle, or our children to continue to maintain the lifestyle they have been used to in the case of illness or even death. The reality is that everybody is going to die. We just don't know when and how. So, by giving ourselves life insurance, for instance, that insurance is going to pay out one way or the other. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And that insurance, like I was taught many years ago, it's not on law. It's not on logic. So, if you have a husband and wife sitting together, just want to call the wife and say, Madam, how will it be that or that is no more area, you'll be able to maintain your lifestyle as well as the woman will understand sharp. You would give the man claim not to understand. Because how many of us have seen it in Africa that a breadwinner dies and the whole family is put in chaos because the golden goose is no more. So that is not the same.
Is the protection you are
talking about. That is not to say that we do not grieve the fact that we no more. But say, for instance, the insurance people, they are able to pay off any money that is on the property we are able to collect some debt, we are able to do certain things. The children are able to continue their education and lifestyle. You will be thanking that man on his way to heaven, or the woman. It doesn't have to be a man, but no, you'll be thanking that person on their way to heaven as this person loved us so much, he even made, she even made provision for us even after we are no more.
Thank you very much for that. And I think another one is also kind of writing. You said you started the spending plan, writing a kind of a plan through anything happens, which is will.
Yeah.
Let us write so that there's no disputes, there's no, by the time you're long gone. There's some people, it is when they die that the family actually disintegrates because they have not prepared well enough. And some people do this day in, year out. But the bit of action taking, and that's where I want you to use to close this session. Action. What is the importance of us taking action? Not just hearing all these things, reading it, attending seminars, all that kind of action. The importance of us taking action, being intentional about 2022, especially in the area of our finances.
Let me say that action, success is the action taken. Success is the action taken. So we can talk about these things. Some of it you probably had before. And the thing is, you will hear it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make any sort of difference until we take action. And how can we take action? Ask yourself as an individual, what one action can I take as a result of listening to? Whether it is in the area of economy, whether it's in the area of managing my money, whether it's in the area of multiplying my money. One action. Let's now people say 5 action plans. One single action as a result of it. And you're going to take it now. Not in September, not in January. Now. It could be something as little as cutting down on expenses. It could be something as little as starting a side gig. It could be something as little as writing a will. Again, our community, we see that, why should I write a will? Am I about to die? Even the teller died eventually. So, it's not something one way or the other. Setting your house in order doesn't mean that I don't do so. So let's not be superstitious about this thing. So one action that you can take, that with yourself will benefit from it. It's about paying yourself first. Are you going to set up, a savings account? Come tomorrow. Are you going to set up an investment? It doesn't have to be a huge amount of money. I started about 5 years ago from 0 level. I'm not going to go into that. I walked away from and I started from ground zero. But negative ground, not even good. Because I had debts. And I had to clear those debts and I had to start over again. And when I started saving, I did all I could save from the family was about 50,000 a month. And that was it. That's how I got started. And here I am today, 5 years down the line, when I cannot do what I was able to achieve. So in Pueblo, no matter where you are, I was like negative thousands. And I'm talking about 5 years ago. And this is not a story. This is my own personal thing. So anybody can do it.
How do we simplify taking actions? How do we simplify it that practical things that people can do to help themselves? Because we can have people that have identified the areas they want to develop or improve on, or the area they want to kind of take out that is not empowering them. what is one or two simple things you think people can actually do? Yeah. Kate by Tricia. Good evening. You're welcome. Yeah. So can you just give us one or two on how to take the action? What are, give us a hint.
If person, I'm not sure what you want to say, but if person will have to take specific action. And like I said, we can get and say, oh, that was a good talk. Oh, yeah, that's inspiring. But it's about taking, you know where you are. If you are somebody who is in there, think about how can I deal with this situation. If you are somebody who won't savings, saving from paycheck to paycheck, set up a savings account tomorrow and start putting the barest minimum into that account. If there's somebody that is not invested in your future, not somewhere, put together a spending plan. Look at where does my money actually go? Who should be interested to know? Who am I paying other than myself? Where is my money going? Because let me tell you, it's not a function of how much you earn. It's not a function of how much you spend that makes you wealthy or financially intelligent or financially freedom. It's how much of that money you keep for yourself. So if you collect your money in one hand and you put it in the other hand, you don't pray it out like that. Wow.
So basically, in action, to identify those things that you want to do and put them down. Set a timeline, realistic timelines.
Yep.
And milestones, set milestones. And possibly have an accountability. Maybe that's the one thing I was expecting to come from you, an accountability person.
Yeah, having an accountability person helps because then somebody can hold you accountable and how much of that have you done? Our goals, whatever we do, number one is that. Because you might say, oh, I have a plan and it's all there in my head. That's a wish. Write down what the plan is. Make sure it is not measurable, it's achievable, so it doesn't happen in the air. Make sure that it's time bound. What I'm going to do every week, what I'm going to do every month, what I'm going to do annually. Make sure it is time bound. And also have an accountability partner, somebody that can hold you to account.
Thank you so much, Tola. Thanks that you're always making yourself available.
Thank you for having me. Tola, thank you for your comment. Thank you very much for staying back.
So thank you so much, Tola. So until another time. Anyway, tomorrow we have another live session at 7 p.m. UK time and of course 8 p.m. West African time. So until goodbye to everybody. Bye.
Bye.